Hiding behind the kids. Yeah. Can you hear me there?
It's on the endo diet, right?
Yeah, that's part of the endo diet. So my name's Sony. I feel like I'm in a self-help group here. My name's Sony. I don't have endo. So I came from Ottawa this afternoon. Thanks to the support of my wife and my 3 kids who let me off, because this to me is actually a celebration, because I've heard thousands of stories in my career of women with endometriosis and endometriosis related pain. And this is what, as a physician and as a care provider, that I've been waiting for a long time, because I think other people need to hear your voices. And the stories I hear have brought me to tears in the office, and the women that I've seen have really inspired me to want to be. Oh, here, can I just grab that? I'm really short too. Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go from there. And so the women I've seen have really inspired me to work harder to help work in this area and provide better care. And so I'm going to take the next few minutes just to go over some of I am a physician and a clinician, so I have to look at some of the stats. And I just want to make sure that you understand that I'm and my colleagues are behind you in that this is a major health problem. It is one of the biggest problems that yet doesn't get the dialogue that it needs. And I know that because we simply look at the wait list and the access that needs to be provided. It's a significant problem, and we have people flying all over the country, going south of the border to access care, and that needs to be revealed, and we need to advocate for that as well. And as many of you know, not only are there millions of Canadian women suffering with this, but the personal expense and the personal loss that they've suffered, the loss of missing school and work, loss of perhaps having a child one day or knowing what that would be like, intimacy with a partner. I've seen couples break up over this issue. I've seen couples get stronger over this issue. The social isolation, it's unacceptable. And in fact, I'm pissed off that we have not brought this forward more and strongly. And I get emotional about it every time I think about it, and that's why we make these trips, to hear your voices and to speak on your behalf. But no longer. You're going to speak out, and you are, with the help of the Endometriosis Network and many others like you. Again, going back to my science side, you should know that about $1.8 billion is spent in the system on endometriosis, and most of that is lost due to productivity. Most of the society or the areas that I work in are held up by strong women. There's a reason that I am here as a male gynecologist, influenced by mentors who were women in my life that made me want to go into this, because I saw their strength, I saw their passion and compassion, and yet if they can't hold up society, if they are suffering and pain at home, how are we to function? How are we to raise our kids and help our system provide care as physicians, as our nursing staff and other colleagues who run the business world? We need to empower them to be able to be productive members of society. And yet we're not seeing that happen because they're at home and they're suffering silently. And finally, this is where I take off my gloves because it won't recognize my hand. That's the beauty of the iPhone. The last thing that bothers me the most is the delay in diagnosis. I've talked to a couple of you already that have told me that years and years go by of girls who started having pain and suffering for many years until finally they get a diagnosis and get help. And I don't want that for my daughter. I don't want that for your daughters. I don't want that for our sisters. And I think we can do a lot more by bringing recognition. Endometriosis is why we're here today. But I want to make sure we include anybody who has pain or bleeding or suffering as part of this. This isn't a disease issue alone. This is a women's health issue. This is an advocacy issue that's bigger than all of us. And yet, if it takes endometriosis and the champions we have here to make it big and make it announced to the world, then that's what we should do. So in summary, I'm here with you to support you. to work hard with you. So are my colleagues, believe it or not. They just need to be part of this discussion. We need to advocate, and I'll do whatever it takes to voice your opinions, whether it's at Parliament Hill, whether it's at the provincial level or federal level, but it's going to take you to speak up. So I believe in you, and thank you so much for allowing me to take this time to share with you the passion that I have for this cause. Thank you.